Welcome back to the SA Sports Show. It's Rob Popplestone flying solo just for the moment. The General will be back on board shortly. And we're doing something with a little bit of a difference. We're down here at Carnegie Park with the Western Strikers under 11 team going through their paces as we speak. Now, the reason I want to invite South Australia down to Carnegie Park is to introduce you to my man right here, Tony Georgiadis, who's the coach. And one of the strange instructions, welcome Tony, by the way.
Hello,
one of the strange instructions we've had in recent times is, can I believe this? You've been instructed that the juniors shouldn't be heading the ball.
Well, they're bringing down a ruling down from the FFSA saying that they don't want kids to practice headering the ball too much for the danger of their head, you see, so...
Otherwise, they end up like me and you, a few years down the track. Tell us a little bit about your background, because I want to follow that up. Tell us a bit about your background. You've played state league and soccer at various levels.
Obviously, as a young boy, 6 years old, starting at Brahma Lodge, living in Brahma Lodge, then moved to Salisbury, then played with Parry Hills and Salisbury
So
United.
all the tough clubs, basically.
Yeah, a lot of the clubs back in those days are all English-based clubs, you know,
Yeah.
so it was really hard nail stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I grew up with all the Salisbury boys and Salisbury United, like I said, Salisbury United, Parry Hills from that, and got into some good state league teams there. And then I moved on to West Adelaide, being in a Greek background, trying to go to a Greek club, and they tried that out. And that was
Kukala, that's all I know.
No, that was good for a little while, yeah, it was good. And then obviously, you know, as you get older, your bones get weaker, so I just sort of moved away from the professional sort of soccer and went to the amateur league. And I was stayed in Salisbury with a club that my parents and family and cousins and so forth, the Salisbury Florina Soccer Club. Yeah. Then I moved from Salisbury, came to the western suburbs and played with a club called the Monarchs for a good 10 years. And that got me involved with coaching, because I obviously along the way got married, had some kids, and with the kids want to play soccer as well, of course, you know. Yeah. So I got my kids involved, and I went out and coached at Fulham United Soccer Club for 4 years, and then I sort of got away from Fulham United, and the coach coordinator at Western Strikers now, Pat, he pulled me alongside and said, "Oh, look, Tony, we're looking for a coach for the under-11 boys here." And I said, "Oh, look, I'll put my hand up." So, and now I'm here. So maybe I'll start again with Western Strikers and maybe go on from that again. So it's really good.
Yeah, great journey too, great journey. And when you're at this level, as we see all the players going through their skills, you know, being able to kick on both sides of the body, being able to head the ball, use your body, they're all integral parts of the game. Now, for me, to get an instruction or an indication from the FFSA that maybe heading the ball shouldn't be practiced so much, to me flies in face of one of the crucial elements of the game.
Yeah, it's. I think every sport has its rule where, I think because it's the young kids.
Sure.
Even maybe in Aussie rules football, they don't want a high tackle, so forth.
Sure.
In rugby, they don't want dragging to the ground and stuff like that. With the soccer, again, of course, headering the ball, maybe at a young age, it doesn't come that often in a game, but it does happen. So maybe they want to sort of make it happen if it happens. You know what I mean? So,
but you don't practice it. You don't practice it at training.
No.
Then how do you execute it in a game if you haven't practiced it?
That's a great question.
Have you got an answer? Have you got a great answer for me?
Not really, no. I
guess that's the thing though, because I get, and we're becoming a little bit precious in society these days anyway, and I get the reasoning behind it. I don't know.
Look, another thing too is I noticed that ever since Australia made the World Cup, and Australia's making the World Cup, and it's got a little bit easier path to the World Cup now, going through Asia. Yeah. A lot of kids are coming towards the soccer side of sport. True. Being the Aussie rules is a little bit on the rougher side. Yes. So families are saying, look, let's bring our kids into the soccer world. As they get older, they're 14, 15 years old, they make a decision on their own whether I'll go Aussie rules or soccer, you know. Yeah. But yeah, it's quite bizarre how they sort of like saying, like, you know, let's ease up the kids. So, I don't know.
That's a really good point that you brought up, because I was speaking to a lady who was at the Norwood Sturt game last week at Unley Oval, the week prior, and she made the point that I've never been so close to the action and realised how hard the players hit. She said, I don't want my son to play that game. And you know, I think that coupled, the apprehension about the physicality of football, together with the success of soccer on an international scale all of a sudden, is attracting these players. You don't want to lose it. You don't want to lose that momentum. So as a parent...
Yeah. Now, look, as a parent, everybody wants, you know, what's best for their kids to play any sport that they want. But as a young child, coming up and playing, no one wants their son to get or daughter to get hurt, you know. So I think, not saying that soccer it still has its injuries and stuff like that, but you know, if they're going to take away the possibility of getting a head injury, I think that's great. You know?
No question about that. So what is the answer? Okay, you can't train with a soccer ball or with a regulation soccer ball, a match ball at training? Do you train with a ball that's more appropriate at training just to teach the art, with a view that if you get in the situation on game day, then you're able to execute it?
I think that's probably,
maybe I've come up with the answer. Maybe we've come up with the answer.
I think that's the ball on the head.
That's it. But you know what? Look, these guys are all having a good time, and you don't want to confuse them with too many elements. You know, I guess that's the thing.
That's a big thing. That's a big thing as well, because from a young age, it's all about learning how to control the ball, developing, and there's so much to learn in the game. You know, so I think it's a little bit bizarre. It's still bizarre to me that taking away that thing of not headering the ball, it just seems really bizarre. But in a game day, obviously the kids are playing, pushing, running with the ball, and if it does happen to come to their head, and the kids will just always automatically, it'll happen.
Instinctively.
You know? Exactly right, exactly right.
Now I'm looking through this team here. There's no man buns and there's no ponytails. How long is it going to take, Coach, before you get them?
Jeez.
Well, there's one lovely lady out there. Lovely girl who's got the ponytail.
Natalia, she's a good little player, yeah.
How long are you going to get them?
It takes a bit of persuasion. Talk to the parents, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon you might too. Mate, hey, thanks for your time.
No problem.
Appreciate it. That was good to get a bit of an insight.
Excellent.
Well done. Tony Georgiadis, the under-11s coach of the Western Strikers down here at Carnegie Reserve. We'll have more on the SA Sports Show with the General coming up shortly.